My name's Jeremy Rennick. I'm the Northern Regional Manager for Croplands Equipment, and I'm here to talk to you today about our WEEDit technology. The ability for a farmer just to target individual weeds in a fallow paddock is very attractive in regards to saving chemical and also to decrease herbicide resistance. These sensors are spaced a metre apart and they have a bright near-infrared light in them. What that near-infrared light does is interacts with chlorophyll. That sets the sensor off, which in turn fires the solenoid at the back. So each sensor controls 5 solenoids in total, spaced at 20 centimetre spacings. And what would happen if it sees a weed in line with one solenoid, it'll just fire that solenoid. It doesn't fire the entire bank of 5. If you have quite a big weed, it'll fire 1, it'll fire 2, it'll fire 3, as many as it needs to coat that weed. The beauty of having the system near infrared looking purely for chlorophyll means that there's no need for background calibration for differing soil types or heavy or light stubbles. It makes calibration non-existent on this machine, and it also makes it far more accurate when looking for weeds. The system runs at 3 bar pressure. We run a 40-degree O3 even spray nozzle. When one of those nozzles fires at about a 15 km/h travel speed on your sprayer, we're putting on the equivalent of 90 litres a hectare. So the water rate is quite robust. A couple of other advantages of the system is that it runs a walled box, power box, which converts 12 volt power from the tractor to 48 volt, so we don't have any issues with power drop out to the end of our booms. Also makes the system run a lot more efficiently and stronger, so we get a lot really fast response times to our solenoids. We also run speed sensors on the rigs, so if the rig's speeding up, slowing down, it'll adjust the solenoids to suit. The other advantage we have is we have an in-cab console that is actually monitoring each sensor and each solenoid on the spray rig. It will give you a warning if one of them play up. The other thing we have on there is sensitivity settings from 1 through to 4, with 1 being the most sensitive. Depending on weed stress and weeds in the paddock, most of the time we run the system on number 1 because we are finding that the accuracy is so high, people are going out and aiming to get every weed that's in the field. So we do a trailing rig, 18 metres up to 36 metres. That rig can come with a dual line configuration, so they can broadcast spray and spot spray at the same time if they want to. The other form we have is a linkage unit or toolbar unit. We've put a lot of thought into keeping the sensors stable on these machines, so stability is absolutely key. We're aiming to have no escapes, so the more stable we can keep that sensor, set at 1100 high is optimum. The more stable we can have it, the more accuracy we will achieve. Obviously the faster you go, the bigger those weeds will get, your accuracy will go down with speed, but that 15 to 18 kilometres an hour seems to be a happy medium between hitting small weeds and then still being efficient at the end of the day, covering some country. One of the big advantages of owning a WEEDit system is chemical savings, but we've certainly noticed in the last sort of 24 months of selling these machines that the focus has gone away from chemical savings, and actually the focus has turned to herbicide resistance. Herbicide resistance is a huge issue in Australia today. Over-reliance on glyphosate is causing it, and one of the best ways to decrease herbicide resistance is to mix up your chemistries and then go and attack those weeds when they're young and small to make sure you're killing them. WEEDit helps you do both of these things. With just targeting the weed in the paddock, you can mix up your chemistry. It makes it a lot more economical to do that. You can go to newer, more expensive chemistries through the machines and still remain economical at the end of the day. And the other thing, because you are only spraying those weeds that are in the paddock, we're finding that guys are going out a lot earlier. Instead of waiting for a big flush of weeds to come through and then spraying all different sizes, they're going out and attacking those weeds when they're young and fresh and making sure that they get a kill.